Linz, for people listening to this, some of them have really tried a lot of things. They've tried
Hmm.
hypnosis, affirmations, visualizations, um, facing their fears, gritting their teeth, and really going for it. And
Hmm.
they haven't had much results.
Hmm.
And, they might fear that they have to live with their social anxiety for the rest of their lives. What can you say
Exactly.
to someone listening to that?
I think that's the worst thing, is that the fear that, am I always going to be this way?
Hmm.
And when you ask yourself, hear yourself asking yourself a question: am I, will I, is this always going to be, will I be ever able to, those thoughts that start with a question to yourself are fear-based thoughts. I'm afraid I will always have this. I'm afraid I can never change, or afraid this good mood will never last. And all social anxiety is, if you could pare away everything else, all the causes and reasons and obstructions, it's fear. It's fear based on all kinds of things: loss of control, fear of being embarrassed or rejected or put down, or fear of failing, fear of being noticed, fear of not being good enough in someone else's eyes, and on and on. It's fear. And our bodies, our subconscious body, the part of us that isn't consciously thinking or engaged in talking, but the subconscious, which is about 95% of our brain, has a huge task. It has a couple of tasks, but its main task is to keep us safe. And so it's there that fear is created, in the subconscious. So the subconscious says, I'm going to create this fear to make you afraid of doing something, because if you do that action or get into that circumstance or situation again, you're going to be hurt just like those other times. So by making you afraid of social interaction, you avoid it. That way it keeps you out of getting in trouble, so to speak. And the subconscious goes, oh, I'm doing a great job. I'm keeping him or her from going to the party or the wedding or the event, the graduation or whatever it is. And the person doesn't even realize that they are being dominated by a subconscious nothing, an entity that has no reasoning, that's keeping you from even wanting to change. Their subconscious is saying, oh, no, you don't. I'm not going to let you change it, because it's not going to be safe. If you just go out there and start going to parties and get engaged with people, and you go to a social situation and get in a conversation, you can feel worthless and useless and afraid and rejected, and people might laugh at you. And what if they make fun of you, and on and on. And so they just stay away from the situation. And then conventional psychology says, no, let's desensitize you to that and just force you to do it little steps at a time, until you just grit your teeth and bite your fingernails and just get on that plane and fly, or cross that bridge, and with your heart pounding and your knuckles white, and you're just miserable. And all the time your subconscious is screaming, no, no, don't make me do this. And sometimes that does work, but it's so hard to do that. The simple thing is to just neutralize that subconscious resistance to changing.
When someone is listening to this and they hear about subconscious resistance, how do they know that they're dealing with it?
Because if they haven't been able to get rid of the problem, then it's because they have a subconscious resistance to change. I call it a reversal. It's the opposite of what you think you want. Your subconscious is holding on to it. So anytime you have a behavior that you want to change, there's something you want to do, but you can't allow yourself to do it, you can't quite accomplish it, that means you have a subconscious resistance to change. If there's a habit or behavior you want to let go of, smoking, drinking, gambling, whatever that might be, social anxiety, and you can't seem to do it regardless of your actions or your desires, that means you have the subconscious resistance. If somebody wants something and they don't have it, it's because they have some subconscious resistance. And I'm talking about being successful, making a lot of money, or being clean and sober, or getting a job, being in a relationship, losing weight, or being confident in a social situation. If you don't have those things and you want it, it starts with that little part of you that says it's not safe, it's not okay, it's not acceptable, or for whatever reason, it's not all right for me to have that thing, or for me to let go of my fear or anxiety that's in the way of me having that thing.
So, Lindsay, we've alluded to it earlier already, but what is the most effective tool or technique or strategy that people can self-apply today?